As you can see, the girls are waiting to be allowed into the vegetable patch. Every time I do gardening, they follow me everywhere I go. Very handy to have chickens. So I've picked what I can from the bed. The beetroot and the other veg can stay for a little bit longer, and I just want now to let the chickens do their work on it. I'll be back in a couple of days after they've basically cleared the bed for me. As you can see, the hens have done a fantastic job of clearing the vegetable patch for me. They're still intent upon trying to do even more. But they've dug it all up for me, they've mixed in all the tomatoes, and created their own version of compost for me. So now all I have to do is plant my garlic, ready for the winter time. Hey Philippa. Okay, so here we are, ready to plant our garlic in the bed that the chickens have very kindly dug up for me. As you can see, they really don't like it when I get into the gardening and they're not allowed in. So I've got some garlic I grew from last year and stored, and a couple of others from the local bio store. Now I prefer to use local stuff because basically it just grows better, especially at altitude. If you take stuff from, I don't know, France or Germany or something imported, then it definitely doesn't grow as well as the stuff that you can, the plants and the garlic bulbs and things that you can buy locally. So I've laid out the garlic with a good enough space between each one. I like to lay it out, just otherwise if I start planting then I tend to forget where I've put it all. And the next job is to stick it actually in the ground and then cover it over. Now I also leave enough space between because this summer I actually grew broccoli in amongst all the garlic, and I got a really good selection of broccoli florets. Now when planting garlic, have the thin end pointing upwards and the other end pointing downwards. So when you break off the cloves of garlic, the thin end is the end that will actually germinate. So the ground's getting a little bit hard, so I'm actually having to dig a hole, and we pop it in. It's about 2.5 centimetres down into the soil, and every single one will be done the same way. So this is where gardening with hens actually really takes off. In early November I always give them a good clean out, and I remove all the mix. What I did this season was I used a mix of straw and hay from the garden, along with pine needles that I go and collect in the forest, and it makes their hen house smell good, and it's got a lot of good bacteria in it, I feel, for their immune system, so they kick around in it. Obviously I remove the fresh poo every day. Okay, final video, and as you can see I've just covered the whole bed with a nice fine layer of larch, pine needles and leaves, so you get free compost for next spring as well.